What's here, y'all? Welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, Keeneland is beginning its fall meet on Friday, and with it, we have an Oaks prep as well as a Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies prep, and that is the Alcibiades, a Grade 1, ninth race on the card, running a mile and a 16th for 2-year-old fillies, and this is a two-turn race, and quite a few of the contestants will be running around two turns for the first time. So that's always an interesting angle to pursue. We don't know. Some of them are going to take to it, some of them won't. We'll just have to see. It's a small field, and we know why. Tommy Joe's going to be a pretty heavy duty favorite in here, and deservedly so. But let's talk about the field one at a time. Go To Girl, I really liked the last race. Showed a lot of determination, a lot of grit, and around two turns, but just came up slow, really more than anything else. And you don't necessarily see that progression that you want to see where another jump forward is possible. But I did like the competitiveness, fought all the way down the stretch, and was a really nice effort. And at 20 to 1, you're getting a pretty good price. You want to use underneath in the exotics, I could certainly see it. I'm going to elect to probably, I want to keep my tickets very short, so I'm going to skip Go To Girl and go rather with the Grumpy Rabbit. I like the performance a little better. Also, I like the fact this horse has a couple of efforts around two turns. One of them was on turf, but it indicates to me that they probably wanted to get this horse around two turns as soon as possible. And I think that's they were rewarded certainly with the second start coming off the bench with a really nice effort. And I think another move forward could give Tommy Joe all she could handle. And at 12 to 1, you're getting a really nice price. So I like the Grumpy Rabbit here, and it definitely is going to be one to use. There's no speed in this race per se, there's no early speed. So it will be interesting to see who decides to go to the lead. I'm going to guess it's probably Go To Girl, but it would make for a. It also could be Tommy Joe could just take them all on a merry chase. We'll just have to see. It's a little unclear. I would guess one of those two. So Grumpy Rabbit should be able to rate behind Go To Girl, and she's good enough. She's got a chance, but does have two-turn experience, and maybe that holds her in good stead. I think you definitely want to consider her. Hot Diva, I can't like for a couple of reasons. Number one, coming up from Gulfstream, and again, sad to say, and I say this all the time, but I do like Gulfstream as a track, but horses coming from there just don't usually bring their game with them. Secondly, you can't like a horse who has been a chalk burner, has been a short favorite a couple of times and had to settle for second, and a couple of times those were pretty bad seconds. I mean, being beaten by considerable amounts. So, and I don't really see where this horse is necessarily improving. I would have to believe Saffie Joseph thinks maybe two turns is going to be what the doctor ordered. But at 6 to 1, I just can't like how Diva in this spot, so I'm going to let go. Tommy Joe is a deserving favorite. The spin away was pretty darn impressive. This horse has been just dominating. But, the only difference is, of course, that this is two turns. I would have to believe this horse will be ready. And if maybe it's not completely Tommy Joe's cup of tea, still has enough class, I think, to win this race, particularly with the small field. And going to be a really short price, but really hard to go against. It's kind of like in our time in the Champagne Stakes. It's just looks head and shoulders above the rest here. So it just really hard to knock. Now, Percy's Bar finished second to Tommy Joe in the spinaway, but was a distant second. And, perhaps two turns is going to help this horse. We'll have to see there. 3 to 1 is pretty short for a horse who was well beaten. But I mean, I think there's definitely some talent here. And, again, if the doctor orders two turns here for Percy's Bar, then maybe she becomes an upset candidate. What kind of bothers me a little bit is the Axeman, or as I call him now, the Anchorman, Luan Machado, aboard. Uh, Luan Machado seems to only want to run one way, and that's take him right to the back. That's what Percy's Bar has been doing. Uh, Now we're going to have to find out whether Percy's Bar is just a sprint closer or has a little bit more to him. I think being at the back in this field without a lot of pace, it certainly works against Percy's Bar. If she was to make an effort to upset Tommy Joe, I think we're going to have some pace to run to, and Tommy Joe's going to get rung out. But I just don't see that happening. I think Percy's Bar is good enough to get underneath into the trifecta or the exacta for certain, just on talent alone. But I think it'd be a tough ask to win this race without a confirmed front runner or out without a lot of speed. That's just the way I see it. Wanzi Weather is an easy toss. I just don't think it's good enough. Hasn't displayed anything to tell me that even moving to 2 turns uh, is going to be the elixir to get this horse competitive. So it's Tommy Joe in the Alcibiades. That should be no surprise. We'll look at the wagering strategy. We're only going to do one thing. I don't see any point in putting a value bet down. Maybe the Grumpy Rabbit, if I was going to perhaps think about it. We'll see what the race looks like in the paddock, or the horses look like in the paddock beforehand, and perhaps we'll change our mind. But I think we're just going to go with a real, if we bet this race, I would go with a simple 3-4 exacta. And that's it. Tommy Joe's probably going to be 1-9. And hopefully that'll drive up the Grumpy Rabbit. But regardless, it's going to be a marginal ROI. Not a great betting race. But those are the three I would consider in my wagering. You want to throw in a trifecta. Tommy Joe on top with Percy's Bar and the Grumpy Rabbit. That's the way I would go. But again, this is more of a race to see what if Tommy Joe's the real thing around 2 turns. And if she is, she might be awful tough in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy, and I wish you the best of luck as always. And certainly if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And thanks to all of you who continue to grow our community. We will have the Late Pick 5 sequence for Keeneland on Saturday, and we're going to try to get out a post for the Breeders' Futurity as well. That's a race we all want to pay attention to, and it is in effect a Breeders' Cup Juvenile and Derby prep. So we'll have an individual post on that as well. That's it from here. I'll talk to you soon, and until then, be well.